Hello students, welcome to chemistry class. I am V. Ragasuma, Government Degree College, Bhadrachalam. Today's class I am going to explain you about the two component system, condensed phase system, a reduced system. Previous class what I have explained is the phase rule and the terms involved in that. What is a phase, what is the degrees of freedom, and what is the chemical composition, components. All these terms were explained in the previous class. Let us recall and then start today's class. So what is phase rule? Gibbs phase rule. The sum Gibbs phase rule. What it tells is the sum of the number of degrees of freedom F and number of phases P exceeds the number of components by 2. F plus P is equal to C plus 2. So F is the degrees of freedom and P is the number of phases, C is the components. So first, what is the phase? Phase, it is a form of matter which is uniform throughout in chemical composition and physical state. So it is mechanically separable one. It is uniform and in the chemical composition homogeneous mixture, and its physical state you can easily identify. That is a phase. Now we'll take an example. A system, it is having, you're having a system, it is having only liquid, that is water you take. So the water is there, only water is there in that system. So that water is in the liquid state. So it is one phase system. Now you take another system. What is a system? System is nothing but the one which is under the study is called system. Now a system, it is containing water and water vapor. So water vapor is in the gaseous state. Water is in the liquid state. So how many phases we can see? You can see two phases in this system. Now we'll go further. Another system. It is having water, it is having water vapor and ice. So water is in the liquid state, water vapor is in the gaseous state, solid ice is in the solid, here ice, it is nothing but in the solid state, solid ice. So totally you are having three states of matter, that is liquid water, water vapor and solid ice. Therefore you are having three phases in this system. It is a three-phase system. So pure substances, solid, liquid or gases, all these are made of chemical species. So that chemical species all are considered as one phase. So now you have got an idea what is a phase. So in the Gibbs phase rule, 1870s he has given, in order to study the heterogeneous equilibrium systems, this Gibbs phase rule was 1874, it was proposed. F plus P is equal to C plus 2. In that, what is P we have studied. Now we'll see what is a C. What is C? C, it is defined as the minimum number of chemically independent species which are required to express the composition of all phases present in the system. It is defined as the minimum number of chemically independent species which are required to express the composition of all phases present in the system. Nothing but the chemicals that are there in the phase. Number of chemicals in that phase is the component. Now we'll take an example. Water system. It has three phases. I told you, solid ice, liquid water, water vapor, gaseous state. So there are three phases. But what is the composition? It is H2O. The composition of all these phases is expressed in one chemical formula, H2O. Hence, it is one component only. You take sulfur. It is having four phases. Rhombic sulfur. Previous session was discussed on one component system, one is water system, the other one is a sulfur system. There we have studied it has four phases. One is the rhombic sulfur, the second one is the monoclinic sulfur, the third one is the liquid sulfur, and the fourth one is the vapor sulfur. And the composition of all these, it is only one chemical individual, that is sulfur. So the component, number of components are only one. The chemicals are only one. The formula is only one. So the components in that system is only one. So it is one component system. Therefore, sulfur is one component system. Now you have got an idea. The phase rule, F plus P is equal to C plus 2. So in that, we have studied what is P phases. We have studied what is C components. Now we are going to study what is F, degrees of freedom or variance. So it is defined as smallest number of intensive variables, that is temperature, pressure and concentration. It is defined as the smallest number of intensive variables like temperature, pressure, composition or concentration. These can change independently without disturbing the number of phases in equilibrium. So as you change the temperature, the pressure is not affected. So they're independently they are changing, but still the number of phases are not getting disturbed from their equilibrium. Such type of components are nothing but such type of variables are called as the degrees of freedom or variance. Degrees of freedom, almost freedom. These are the degrees of freedom. They are intensive variables. They change independently with freedom. They change independently without disturbing the phases equilibrium. So you change the temperature, it is independent of pressure and concentration. And the phases in the equilibrium doesn't change. If you change the pressure, even the temperature doesn't change, concentration doesn't change, phases in the equilibrium doesn't change. Okay, state of pure gas. You take, it can be described in the three variables: pressure, temperature, density. If two are known, the third can be calculated. Okay, so if two are known, that is bivariant system. If it is studied under two variables, then that is nothing but it may be pressure temperature or composition temperature, composition pressure, anything, the degrees of freedom. If it is studied any two variables, then that is bivariant system. F is equal to 2. If F is equal to 1, that is univariant system, in which this water vapor are in one system. Any of one variable is studied. If all the phases of water exist in equilibrium and there is no condition, F is 0, that is invariant system. It is 0 means it is not having any condition of a temperature, it is not having any condition of a pressure, then that is invariant system. So if F is equal to 2, it is bivariant. If degrees of freedom F is equal to 1, univariant system. If degrees of freedom F is equal to 0, it is invariant system. So therefore, these three, it's nothing but the degrees of freedom will define the type of a system. Now we'll see what is phase rule. Already I have told you the phase rule. The sum of number of degrees of freedom and number of phases exceeds number of components by 2. Then that is phase rule. It was given by Gibbs. That was given by Gibbs in 1875. It is useful to understand the effect of intensive variables. So a system in equilibrium, a system with different intensive variables, temperature, pressure, and composition. and all the phases are in the equilibrium. So that can be studied. So it is useful to understand the effect of temperature, pressure, or concentration on the equilibrium system is nothing but the phase. That is the use of a phase rule. It is used to deduce a number of degrees of freedom for a system. That is nothing but the variance of a system. Next, it states that for every heterogeneous system in equilibrium, the sum of number of phases and degrees of freedom, it is greater than number of components by 2. As I have told you, heterogeneous system in equilibrium, sum of number of phases, degrees of freedom greater than number of components by 2. That is phase rule. What are the advantages of a phase rule? It provides convenient method to classify equilibrium states of a system. Liquid, gaseous state, solid state, liquid state, gaseous state, all the equilibrium of the systems can be explained using this phase rule. Now you can predict the behavior of a system. You can predict the behavior of a system with the temperature, pressure, and composition. It's nothing but the changes in the intensity. We can predict the behavior of a system with changes in intensive variables. Indicates that different systems have same number of degrees of freedom behave in the same manner. So different systems, but degrees of freedom is same. But what is their behavior? So different systems with same number of degrees of freedom behave in same manner. As how can be explained using the phase rule. It is applicable for the macroscopic systems. It takes the account of the nature of the reactants and products in the phase. So it is applicable to physical and the chemical equilibria. These are the advantages of phase rule. Now we'll see the limitations of the phase rule. So it is applicable for the system in equilibrium. So it is applicable for the system that is in the equilibrium. So it is for the single equilibrium state. Applicable for system in equilibrium, and that should be the single equilibrium state. It considers only intensive variables, considers only number of phases. Okay, so it doesn't take into consideration only temperature, pressure, composition are considered. That's a limitation. And only that should be a single equilibrium. Even that is a limitation. Moreover, equilibrium should be there in order to study the phase. Then that is a limitation. Considers only number of phases, not the quantity of the phases. Only it's taking into consideration the physical and the chemical equilibria. It is not cut off, it's not explaining about the quantity of the phases. It requires all the phases to be in the same condition of the intensive variables. So all the intensive variables should be in the same conditions of temperature and pressure. So all these account for the limitation. Now what is a phase diagram? It is convenient graphical representation plotting the values of intensive variables, temperature, pressure for equilibrium. Graphical representation of an equilibrium with pressure and temperature. I'm repeating, phase diagram, graphical representation of a system in equilibrium with respect to intensive variables, temperature and pressure. Okay, so by diagram we can see it's a graphical representation. Now it shows the properties, melting and boiling points, transition point, phase transition point, and the triple point, eutectic point. So all these can be shown in the phase diagram. The complexity of the phase diagram increases with the number of components in system. For simple substance, that is nothing but one component system. For simple substance, example water, sulfur, they come under one component system. Formula is only H2O, and for sulfur system, yes. So that is one component system. Phase diagram, it is two-dimensional plot. For one component system, two-dimensional plot. What is two-dimensional? One dimension is in the pressure, The other dimension is in the temperature. So intensive variables are only two. So that is pressure and the temperature. The independent variables are only two. So it is two-dimensional. If you take a two-component system, now I'm going to explain you about the two-component system. If the phase diagram is for two-component system, that means the chemical composition is changing. Here, two chemicals will be there. The compositions formulas two will be there. So two-component system, the diagram, the phase diagram will be three-dimensional plot. Pressure, temperature, composition. But the third axis we cannot show. So that is reduced. We use reduced phase rule. Got it? Phase diagram for two component system is three-dimensional plot. Pressure, temperature and composition. Where here the third axis is only for composition. And that three-dimensional, it is converted into two-dimensional. So three-dimensional, it is converted into two-dimensional by putting one variable constant. I told you now, pressure, temperature and composition. Any of one is kept constant. If it is isobaric, the pressure is constant. And composition and temperature are studied. If it is isothermal, temperature is constant. Pressure is varied and the composition is varied. Okay. So the three-dimensional plot will be there for two component system. But the three is converted to two and studied. How it is converted? Any one of the term is kept constant. Pressure, temperature and composition. In these three, any one is kept constant and the remaining two are studied for the equilibrium system. For isobaric system, pressure is kept constant and with two variables. Invariant variable, it's for two variables, independent variables two, that is pressure is constant, temperature, isobaric system, pressure is constant, temperature and composition are changed, are varied, and thereby equilibrium system is studied. If it is isothermal, three-dimensional converted to two-dimensional. So how it is done? By putting one variable constant. In isobaric system, the pressure is kept constant and by changing temperature and composition, equilibrium is studied. For isothermal system, the temperature is kept constant and pressure and the composition are varied and thereby the equilibrium system is studied. Okay, now the reduced phase rule for this three-dimensional plot is here. F plus P is equal to C plus 2. F is equal to C minus P plus 2 previously for one-dimensional system. For two-dimensional system, it is three-dimensional plot. For one component system, two-dimensional plot, I'm repeating, one component system, two-dimensional plot, the formula is F is equal to C minus P plus 2, one component system. Now for three-dimensional plot, okay, so for that two component system, three-dimensional plot, one component system, two-dimensional plot. For two component system, three-dimensional plot is taken. You know what is dimensions? Okay, dimensions means pressure, temperature. One component system, two-dimensional plot, that is pressure and temperature plot you are taking, graph. For two component system, you are taking three-dimensional plot, pressure, temperature, concentration. One is kept constant. So the formula is reduced. The formula is F is equal to C minus P plus 1. 1 is kept constant. So it has turned to 1. Previously, what it is? F is equal to C minus P plus 2. But now the formula has changed. The reduced equation is F is equal to C minus P plus 1. This is the reduced phase rule. It is applied for the two component system. Now, phase diagram for two component system. So if two component system, for the two component system I told you, P is equal to 1. Pressure is kept here, P is equal to 1. Degrees of freedom are highest order, that is 3. And for two component system, P is equal to 1. Number of degrees of freedom are high and it is of the order 3. For two component system, phase diagram may be represented by three-dimensional diagram of P, composition and temperature. For two component system, phase diagram may be represented by three-dimensional pressure, composition and temperature. Okay, so phase diagram, how it is I'm showing. Two component system, P is equal to 1, number of degrees of freedom it is high order, and here it is represented by three-dimensional diagram. In the three-dimensional diagram, 1 is kept constant. In the three dimensions, what are the three dimensions? P, T, C, pressure, composition and temperature. In this diagram, two axes are represented with two variables, while the third one is held constant. I told you now, for two component system, three-dimensional, one is constant. It may be pre or it may be T, can be kept constant. Now, phase diagram may be constructed as follows. PT diagram keeping concentration constant. You can do three ways. Here, two component system, three-dimensional. 3 is converted to 2. 3-dimensional is converted to 2-dimensional. How? 1 is kept constant. There, here, P and T diagram, concentration constant, or P concentration diagram, T is constant. T and C diagram keeping P as constant. So 3-dimensional, 3 variables, P, T, C. At one stage, concentration can be constant. At one other stage, temperature can be constant. At another stage, P can be constant. Any of the one way you can construct the diagram. Okay, phase diagram you can construct in any of these three. PT with C concentration constant, PC with T constant, TC with P constant. Now we will see. So the gaseous system, what is the condensed system? The gaseous system involve large number of change of volumes that are affected by pressure. But systems having only solid liquid phases are not considerably affected by the change in pressure. Such solid liquid systems with gas phase absent is called condensed system. I'm repeating. The gaseous system which involve large change of volume affected by pressure. But system is having only solid and liquid affected by change of pressure. Such solid liquid systems with the gas phase absent is called condensed phase. Here, solid liquid system with no gas. When P is kept constant, vapor phase of the system is not considered. Okay, gaseous state is not there. Solid, liquid, no gaseous state. Pressure is constant. Vapor phase is not considered. See, if gas is there, then only pressure. There is no gas, vapor phase, gas of a system is not considered. So P is kept constant. In this case, it is condensed phase or the reduced phase. Got it? Now the system, it is having only solid liquid equilibrium. There is no vapor phase, no gaseous phase, and pressure is kept constant. The pressure is constant. So if pressure is kept constant, in this case, you can consider, if pressure is kept constant, in that phase, the pressure is kept constant. So no gaseous phase, no pressure, only solid liquid. So that is condensed phase you call. That is condensed phase, and the phase rule is reduced. F is equal to C minus P plus 1. F is equal to C minus P plus 1. This is condensed phase rule or reduced phase rule. Now we are taking P is constant, three-dimensional, P, T, C. So we are keeping P constant. Now T versus composition diagrams are shown here. For solid liquid equilibrium, temperature versus composition diagrams will be shown. Previous slide I told you now. For this phase diagrams are of three types, putting any one constant. So here having P, T, C, pressure, temperature, concentration. Any one will be kept constant. Here for the solid liquid equilibria, P is kept constant and the graph is plotted temperature versus composition. Next, two component system is to be classified. Two component system is to be classified depending upon the miscibility of two components in the molten state and also on the basis of the solid phases separating out on cooling. Here, Now, next, this is the graph T versus compositions for the solid liquid equilibrium. Now, two component system is to be classified. Two component system is to be classified depending on miscibility, how they are getting mixed up, the two components in the molten state and on the basis of the solid state. Okay, and that separates out on cooling. Got it? Two components. Okay, how is their miscibility, how they are getting mixed up? One will be in the molten state and the other one in the solid phase. So solid phase is how they are getting mixed, molten state how they are getting mixed, and how they are getting separated on cooling. So that is the component system that can be classified depending on that. When two component systems are completely miscible in the liquid state, allowed to completely miscible in liquid state and allowed to cool at low temperature, and the components begin to separate out as a solid in the any of the three forms. Okay, two components completely miscible in liquid state. They are completely miscible. They are like a liquids only, both of them completely miscible. You can't see both of them. And on cooling, at low temperature, again they begin to separate out as a solid in any of the three forms. Okay, components not miscible form in the solid state, and they form eutectic mixture, that is lead, silver, alloy. Okay, they're not. Next, components form stable solid component which melts at constant temperature, give liquid with same composition. Some give solid state and form eutectic mixture. Components, they don't get on solidification, they are not miscible in the solid state. Eutectic mixture you'll be getting. That is nothing but silver lead will happen like this. Remember, today's we'll be reading silver lead system. So compounds, these components are not miscible in the solid state. They form the eutectic mixture on cooling. Okay, two components completely miscible, liquid state, and on cooling, the components separate out as a solid. How they're getting separated? After separation, the two components, they're not miscible in the solid state. You can see separately, and they form the eutectic mixture. Okay, for that you're having the example silver lead. And the other way how they get separated is components. Yeah, two components, they're completely miscible in the liquid state and allowed to cool, and on cooling two components form stable solid which melts at constant temperature to give liquid with same composition. Here, that is zinc and magnesium system. Okay, on cooling they give liquid with same composition. Such components are congruent melting points. Next class we'll see this one, zinc and magnesium system. Okay, three categories. In that three categories, first category is today's class, and the next category, two components miscible in liquid state and on cooling they get separated out as a stable solid. Again they melt at constant temperature to give liquid same composition, that is with congruent melting points, that is zinc and magnesium system. And some of the systems are there, components, they form solid component on cooling. The compounds form solid component which is unstable and decomposes below its melting point to give new solid and a liquid that is different from the composition. See, two components completely miscible, and on cooling they give out the solid component which is unstable and decomposes below its melting point to give new solid phase and a new liquid phase, different in their original composition, different from their original composition. That is incongruent melting point system. Okay, so solid liquid equilibrium where there is no gaseous phase, pressure is constant, temperature and concentration plots will be there. For that type, there are three types of mixtures, two components mixing completely, and on cooling they give three types of components. So first type is components that are not, they give out the solid part, solid states which are not completely miscible and form eutectic mixture, that is silver lead. Now another form how they solidify is as a stable solid. As a stable solid they solidify. melts at constant temperature to give liquid with same composition. That is congruent melting points. Such compounds are congruent melting points, zinc, magnesium example. And the third category, how they get separated out, is like a solid component, but that is unstable, decomposes below the melting point, give new solid phase and a liquid, new solid phase and liquid, which are different from the original component. They're incongruent melting point systems. Okay, that is solid potassium and sodium potassium system. So today's class will see lead and silver system. What is a eutectic mixture? Two component systems. What is a eutectic mixture? We'll see. So eutectic mixture, here two components, here two component systems. In the both the components are completely miscible, and see here two components, here two component system. What is a eutectic system? I'm telling you. So lead silver system, you need to know what is a eutectic mixture. Here you got it now. Eutectic mixture components, there see two components completely miscible, and on cooling components get separated out as a solid. So that solid is having components that are not miscible in the solid state, and they form eutectic mixture. Components that are not solid in the components that are not miscible in solid state. Components that are not miscible in the solid state, but they form the eutectic mixture. Now that system will see what is eutectic mixture. Two components in which both the components are completely miscible in liquid phase but do not react chemically are called eutectic system. Both components are completely miscible in liquid phase but do not react chemically. Two component system in which both components are completely miscible in liquid phase but do not react chemically is called eutectic system. Is called eutectic system. So two component system in which both components completely miscible in liquid phase, but they do not react. They're miscible, don't react chemically. That is eutectic mixture. Complete miscible system, but they don't react each other. That is eutectic mixture, eutectic system. Now eutectic temperature and what is eutectic composition for a pure substance. Here, eutectic temperature and composition. For a pure substance, A, for a pure substance A, the freezing point is higher, and upon increasing the concentration of B, eutectic temperature and composition. For a pure substance A, the freezing point is higher, and upon increasing the concentration of B, freezing point is decreases to lowest value. Actually, the freezing point is very high and increases, and by adding the concentration of B, freezing point still decreases to very low value. Previously the freezing point is high, but on addition of the another component, the freezing point decreases to lowest value. This is called eutectic temperature, and that composition is called eutectic composition. So eutectic point easily melting, it gets easily melted. Actually it was high freezing point, but upon adding another component, increasing another component, freezing point almost decreases to very low value. Okay, that is eutectic composition and temperature. So at the eutectic point, easy meltable, it can be easily meltable. Okay, that can be converted to the almost to the solid, and it is defined as the lowest melting point attained by the mixture. We have seen what is eutectic temperature and composition and eutectic point. Now for this we are having example. We are having the example of the lead and silver system. Lead and silver are completely miscible in liquid state. Lead, silver, completely miscible, homogeneous mixture is formed in the liquid state. Okay. Then molten lead and silver are miscible in all proportions as a homogeneous solution and is produced. So four possible phases are there. Molten lead, silver, liquid state you take, molten state you take, both of them are completely miscible. Completely miscible in all proportions. So the four possible phases are solid silver, solid lead, and solution of Ag plus Pb, lead and silver, and the vapor state. Okay, you're having four phases: solid Ag, solid Pb, solution of Ag and Pb, and the vapor state. Now we'll study the system. Here, simple lead silver system. Okay, this is the liquid melt for both of them. Here you're having the liquid plus the liquid is containing both silver and the solid plus solids. Here again you're having the liquid plus lead. Lead is getting here. Lead state is also there. Now here solid lead and the eutectic mixture. You know what is eutectic mixture? So previously I studied no the eutectic mixture. So pure substance eutectic mixture. Two components easily miscible but do not react is nothing but the eutectic mixture. Eutectic mixture I have solid lead plus eutectic mixture. They don't react. The mixture is there but they don't react. Solid silver is there and eutectic mixture. Eutectic mixture means lead is there as well as silver is there, but they don't get reacted. That is eutectic mixture. Now we'll see simple lead silver system. So it is a simple eutectic system in which silver or lead completely soluble in the liquid state. They don't react to form any compound, but on solidification, they easily give melting mixture. Eutectic system they give. Easily melting system they give. They don't react, but they give a melting mixture. That is eutectic system. Without reacting, a melting mixture will be formed. That is eutectic system. Now, four phases are taken in the equilibrium. Solid, previously I shown you, solid silver, solid lead, solution of both of them, and the vapor. Boiling point of silver and lead are very high. So gaseous phase is very less. It is zero. I told you no, two component system, three-dimensional system, but one is reduced, gaseous phase is absent, so pressure is negligible. Now, solid liquid equilibrium without gases is known as condensate system. Solid liquid equilibrium with no gaseous phase is called condensate system. Previously I told you, solid liquid condensate system, reduced phase rule. So solid liquid equilibrium without gaseous phase is called condensate system. Now we'll see the silver lead system. One is the freezing curve of the silver, freezing curve of the lead. Freezing curve AO. OB is the, here you are having the liquid melt. In that liquid melt you are having Ag plus Pb. This is eutectic point, completely miscible melted system, easy melting system with no reaction. Okay, now here having the solid eutectic mixture plus solid silver. Eutectic mixture is having both silver and Ag molten state. Here solid eutectic mixture plus solid lead. Now, first we'll see the curve, areas. Areas are bivariant system. Area AOB. Area AOB will take. Only you're having molten silver, you're having molten silver. See very clearly, area AOB, you're having only the molten silver. AOB. Okay, area AOB. Only the molten Ag plus Pb. Liquid, this only the liquid state. Components are two, Ag and Pb, but only the liquid state is there here. So number of phases are 2. The number of phases are 2. Only one phase and components are 2. Okay, so we'll calculate F. Just see area AOB. In the area AOB, F is equal to C minus P plus 1. I'm calculating AOB formula. Only liquid melt is there. F formula, F is equal to C minus P plus 1. F is equal to C. Components how many? Ag and lead. Components are 2. Phase is only 1. So F is equal to C minus P plus 1. C is 2 components, silver and lead. 2 minus, phases how many? Only liquid phase. 2 minus 1 plus 1. So you are getting 1 plus 1, 2. F is 2. It is bivariant system. Area is always bivariant. Now we'll take one more area. In this area, BOF. BOF you take. So in this BOF, you are having molten silver Ag. Okay, BOF, you are having molten mixture Ag and lead, and solid lead is present. Solid lead is present. BOF. Here F is not given, just note down F. This point is F. BOF, you are having solid lead plus molten mixture. What is the molten mixture? Liquid melt, Ag plus lead. Okay, in this area again, what is the composition? Composition is 2, silver and lead. Phases, how many you are having? 2 phases you are having. One is the molten phase, one is the solid phase. So F is equal to 2 minus 2 plus 1. Here the system is univariant. This is here this area BOF is univariant. F is equal to C minus P plus 1. C is composition. Lead plus Ag. Composition is 2. 2 minus P. P, how many phases? Solid phase and the liquid phase. So it is 2. 2 minus 2 plus 1. So F is equal to 1, univariant. Now we'll see area enclosed AOE. AOE. Okay, this is F, this is E. Okay, I told you about this area. This area is over. Now we'll see this area. AOE. You are having molten Ag plus PB, liquid you are having, plus solid Ag you are having. Very easy. In this AOE area, solid Ag plus liquid. Liquid is having Ag plus PB. How many phases? Here, F is equal to C minus P plus 1. F is equal to C. How many components? Ag and lead are the components. P, how many? Solid state is the liquid state. Phases are 2 plus 1. 2 minus 2 plus 1. F is equal to 1. This is univariant. So this is univariant and this is univariant. Whereas this is bivariant system. That is bivariant system. Now again you can see DOE area you take, and here DOE and DOF you take. Again it's the same. Here 2 solid plus eutectic mixture plus solid. Here also this area also solid eutectic mixture plus solid Ag. There you are getting F is equal to C minus P plus 1. F is equal to 2 minus 2 plus 1. 2 phases, 2 components. Solid phase, eutectic mixture you are having. Solid eutectic mixture, it's nothing but a melt. That is one phase, and solid phase is another phase. So F is equal to C minus P plus 1. Eutectic mixture is having lead and silver. How many components? C. F is equal to C minus P. C is equal to 2 minus how many phases? One is the solid, eutectic mixture is the molten state. So you can take 2 phases plus 1. So F is equal to 1, univariant. Again coming to this area. So in this area, F is equal to C minus P plus 1. C, how many components? Here, solid eutectic mixture plus lead. Eutectic mixture is having silver plus lead. So silver and lead is there. So C is equal to 2. F is equal to C minus P plus 1. C is 2. F is equal to 2 minus again P. P, how many phases? One is the solid, eutectic mixture is molten state. You can take 2 phases. So F is equal to C minus P plus 1. F is equal to C is to P is to 2 minus 2 plus 1. F is equal to 1, univariate system. So this BOF, FOD, AOE and EOD, this area, this area, this area and this area, 4 areas you're having univariate system. Only this is having bivariate system. That is what we have studied. Now we'll see the curves, how the curves are changing. So coming to the curves in this one, the curves are AO and OB curves. AO curve. What is happening in the AO curve? AO curve. Melting point of silver is 961. Now we are adding freezing curve of silver, you call. This is freezing curve of the silver. Continuously freezing curve for this is the melting point of silver. So for this silver you are adding here silver. Melting point is very high. For this you are adding lead. Now what is happening? The melting point from 961, it is getting reduced. Reducing at one point. Both of them get mixed here. Since melting point is 961, continuously you are adding lead. Freezing curve of the lead, it is very high melting point. Silver, you are adding lead, it is lowering melting point of here, melting point of silver along AO. These two phases will exist in equilibrium, and these two phases exist in equilibrium along AO. Solid Ag and solution of Ag and Pb are in equilibrium. So if more lead is added, it separates out as the solid. So still the lead is added, this complete mixture, it gets separated as the solid. So Ag solid and lead solid gets separated out. This is the melting curve with this freezing curve. For this silver, you are adding the lead. They are in equilibrium. As you are adding, its melting point is decreased. And at this point, it gets solidified. In the solidified eutectic mixture, you call eutectic point. At this point, solid Ag gets separated out, containing even this here. So two of them exist. Okay, as lead, it separates as the salt almost at this point. Okay, there you are having lead 97.4% and 2.6% of the silver. Now curve BO. In the curve BO, you see melting point of lead is 327. Now you are adding here silver continuously along BO. So lead is in equilibrium with two phases, molten mixture. Lead is in equilibrium with the molten mixture, that is silver and lead. Now solid lead and the solution of these two get separated here. The solid gets separated here, and this is univariate system. Now AO and BO meets at point O. O is common to both the curves. There you are having, so here for this silver curve, addition of lead solidifies. For this lead curve, silver is added, even this gets separated. Now at point O, you are having both the solid lead and the silver lead. And even the liquid solution is coexisting. At this point, the degrees of freedom, it is 0, non-variant, invariant system at point O. And this is the lowest temperature 303 at which the liquid will exist. Lowest temperature, below this, there is no liquid. Now, if the liquid is cooled below this temperature, both Ag and lead separated out as solid. At this point, I told you now, see, at this point, both of them, that is the equilibrium state, both of them coexist. At this point, liquid, solid silver, lead, solid, all of them are in equilibrium. Below this, there is no liquid. Below O point, there is no liquid. Still, if you are cooling, temperature is cooled, this silver and lead separates out as a solid. that percentage is 2.6% Ag will be having, 97.6% lead will be there. Okay. In the alloy of Ag and lead, even silver, so how it is useful? In the alloy of silver and lead, Ag melts at 300 degrees, which is lower than the melting point of the silver and the lead, that is called the eutectic mixture. Now, this diagram, it is having two more regions. I told you na, E, F, already explained for you, but still the slide is shown here. I'm going to show you the slide and explain once again. Diagram, it is divided E, F. Here it is not written E, and this point is F. Below this line, okay, on left line, O, D, D. This is D. E, F, and D. Below EF line, you are having OD line. Crystalline Ag and crystalline Ag and solid eutectic mixture stable here. Next, on right side of OD line, crystalline solid, that is nothing but lead, crystalline lead and eutectic mixture are stable. Okay, below 303 degrees, here OD line, left side, okay, so you are having these two existence, solid silver and eutectic mixture, solid stable mixture you are having. And right side to this OD, you are having solid eutectic mixture and solid lead. Okay, so this is the way you are getting the quiet perspective. Yeah? Okay, this is the freezing curve of the lead, this is the freezing curve of the silver. This is one area, second area, third area, fourth area, fifth area. This area, it is bivariant. This one, first area bivariant. 2, 3, 4, 5 are univariant systems. And point C, eutectic point, it is invariant system. Degrees of freedom is 0. F is 0. F is to bivariant. In this area, F is to bivariant system. In this area, second area, third area, fourth area, and fifth area. Okay, first area, F is to bivariant. Second area, third area, fourth area, and fifth areas, F is 1, univariant system. At point C, eutectic mixture, it is invariant. Almost all are equal, they are in equilibrium. That is eutectic point. Okay, I hope everybody have understood my session. So today's session, again, just before telling the two component system, I have revised what is phase rule. Once again, before revising the coming to the two component system, I have revised what is phase rule. Okay, F plus P is equal to C plus 2. And what is phase, what is component, what is degrees of freedom, what is phase rule, and what is a phase diagram. What are the advantages of phase rule, limitations of the phase rule, phase diagram, and two component system. In the two component system, three types, the solid liquid equilibria, condensed phase rule is explained for you. In that, the silver lead system, it is explained. Next class, in congruent melting point system, zinc magnesium will be explained for you. So what is eutectic system? That for that example, silver lead system, taking the diagram, phase diagram, I have explained you silver lead system. Okay, what are the areas and what is the phase rule, how it is applied, what are the curves and what is the point, eutectic point, and what is the phase rule. So areas you're having bivariant as well as univariant, and in the point, eutectic point, you are having invariant system. I hope we have understood this heterogeneous. So today's class, we have understood the phase rule, which is applied for the heterogeneous system. Phase rule was proposed, and heterogeneous system, the phase rule is applied, and how the phases are in the equilibrium was studied. Okay, thank you everybody.